So, like David said, right? We've been spending the entire summer back in Sweden. For me, it was my first time in Sweden, spending 3 months in Sweden. I haven't spent this much time back in the country I'm born in the last 10 years. I haven't been home in Sweden for more than 2 months in less than 10 years, in 10 years. So it was a really big deal for me to be home. Like I seen my family so much. I spent so much time with my cousins. I spent so much time with my aunts, my uncles, like my grandmother, granddad, everything. And I loved it so much. I had so much good time doing that. And I engaged in so many new conversations that I really, because when you're living, I'm not sure if you guys, like everybody won't relate to this, but when you live outside of your country or just in a different city, there is something that happens to you. There's something that happens mentally to you. Or the same thing goes when you go into solitude. And that we've been hearing this in the winds during these last weeks, right? That people that have been in quarantine, some of us have actually like, wow, I got so much mentally stronger. I got so much more done during quarantine because I was with myself. And that's what's been happening with me during the last 10 years. Like I've been just exposing myself to the things that I want, to the things that I really love, growth, personal development, mindset. And when I came home and just started engaging more in conversations on deeper level, I really understood that like, wow, like it all starts in your mind. And you can take this lesson, which is what we're going to talk about today, to if it's on the dance floor, we can put it in your workspace, to any type of success that you want in life, right? Any type of success. Give me 1 second and I'm gonna turn this on because I keep forgetting it. It's not the record button, Yvette, don't worry. I saw you, thank you. Let me see here. Boom. David, please help me put this one on. Of course. Please help me to place this beautifully. All right. And it all comes down to the brain. Everything. Again, this is evergreen principles. These are not only principles that you can use on the dance floor, this can be used off the dance floor, right? So a big problem was that I've been so focused during these last 5-6 months. Like since March, I've been so focused on training. I've been extremely focused on like my spirituality, like and my mindset. But I've been so focused on mindset that I almost forgot to focus on my mindset and just do nothing. It sounds strange, but it's gonna make total sense after this. And I engaged in conversations with some people that proved to me that everything starts with inside. Everything starts with inside. I met people back home in Sweden that I grew up with, that had outside looking in so much more physical and aesthetic, and I'm gonna say like a better rate for success than I had. So much higher. In the sense of more money from their family, better education, better in school than I was, whatever the case may be. But somewhere along the line, some of them have fallen off, like they have really fell off the train, like they fell off the bandwagon and didn't really achieve to what they think is success. It's not what I think is success, because what I think about their success, it doesn't matter. Success is something between you and yourself, right? So I really took my time and like I've been pondering upon this really, and I believe that that's why I'm posting so much about mindset on my social media right now. And I felt that, like, make no mistake. During now I was in Sweden. I'm in training 5 days a week. I meditate twice. I did all my social media. I was working throughout the entire summer. I still managed to spend time with my family. I still managed to keep up to date with all of my social media, or all of my inner circle students. And I managed to move my home from Sweden to Amsterdam, where I'm based now. So we're moving again. But there was still something that was missing. There was still something that was missing. And it all goes back to your mind. It all goes back to your mind. Because I truly believe that when it comes to what we talked about, right? Like, I met people that on paper were supposed to be more successful than me. Because my body has some limitations. Like my knee, for example, I did 2 knee surgeries in 14 months. The body has limitations, but the mind doesn't. The mind doesn't. And it's not only me. Like, I'm not only talking to me. You guys who don't know Christina's story, again, watch out. I'm going to interview this woman because her story is so inspiring. And her body might have limitations, but her mind doesn't. She's out here doing fucking backflips and shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you go on her social media, you're going to see her do all types of, like, I don't even know what those names, what the names are. But her body still has limitations, but she found ways to be able to navigate, to still reach to her goal. And that's what separates her from another person. That's what separates her from someone who would have those setbacks, but wouldn't bounce back as fast as she did. And when I say fast, it wasn't fast, you know what I mean? She's still been putting in time. She's putting in serious time to get there. But her mind was here a long time ago. Thumbs up if I'm making sense so far. Because we all have these moments when we're at our job or whatever, and we meet people that are maybe lowering us in position, or even higher us in position. But their mindset is not where ours is. Because it all starts in the mind. Remember again, like I said, the mind doesn't have limitations. The mind doesn't have limitations. I heard a great quote the other day, and I wanted to, and it was so profound for me that it's like, I almost considering doing a tattoo with it. Like, I'm not gonna do it, but I almost consider it. It says, like, if you're not mentally ready, you're never physically prepared. If you're not mentally ready, you are never physically prepared. And that's so true. That's so true. It doesn't matter where you are, whatever your movie ending is, whatever age you got right now, whatever obstacle that happened in your past, whatever you are faced with right now, whatever you want out of life, the place you are standing in right now, it's the perfect spot to be. It's the perfect spot to be. Now will always be better than later. But you got to sharpen your mind. You got to sharpen your mind. There was somebody who wrote to me on social media the other day. He's like, bro, you always talk about staying sharp, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but you need to understand that concept. You need to understand the concept of staying sharp. Staying sharp doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I'm like, I'm so far from perfect that, like, perfect is not even my goal. Like, being perfect was never my goal. Progression is my goal. Progression is what I strive from. I strive of progression. And staying sharp means that I'm constantly sharpening the blade. I'm constantly sharpening the blade. Every day. You know? Because the more I use my own knife, not weaker, but I don't know, like, what's the opposite of sharp? Linda?
Dull.
Dull, thank you. The more I use my knife, the more dull it's gonna get. So you need to constantly put in that. And remember that iron sharpens iron. And what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, what does it really mean, the iron sharpens iron? It means that your environment is what's going to set you up for success. That's why it's so important for us to expose ourselves to new levels. And by exposing yourself to new levels, it's how you get mentally stronger. Exposing yourself to new levels is how you get mentally stronger. Not only mentally stronger, but mentally sharper. Because once you start to see all of these new things, that's when you're going to understand, like, wow, there is levels to this. I didn't even know these levels existed. You know? I have a great example. A couple of years ago, This is a couple of years ago. What you're seeing right now, I keep saying it, what we're seeing right now, dancers from all over the world. We're usually around 30-something people on these calls. These are dreams, these are visions I had in my head like years ago, but it took me time to build this. It took time to build this because I didn't really know what this was in my own brain. So a couple of years ago, I paid for a mentorship by the same guy who's my mentor today. The same guy who's my mentor today. But I paid his highest thing, you know? Like I was so far from being I wasn't prepared at all. Like I wasn't at that level. Like I wasn't at that level financially, I wasn't at that level experience-wise, but I took a bet on myself. I took a bet on myself and I said, fuck it, let me pay this, let me go for it. I want to know what this is about. I didn't even know they had a thing called mastermind. So I joined the mastermind and paid 1,500 euros per month for it. Tons of money. But I wasn't prepared at all. I wasn't prepared at all for it. So I came, boom, like I sat down. They started talking about like conversion rates, gross revenue, blah, blah, blah. Things in English that I never heard of, that I never heard of. So after a few months, like I was there 2-3 months, I did my best, and after a while I jumped off. But I didn't fail that experiment. That was a lesson. That was such a valuable lesson for me. I learned so much from just exposing myself to new heights. And just the fact that I exposed myself to new heights gave me the realization of, wow, this is something, there is so many levels to this. There is so many levels to this. And if you believe that you don't need to keep exposing yourself to new heights, keep exposing yourself to different areas or to new experiences, if you believe that, you have no idea what the next level is about. You have no idea what the next level is about. Again, I've been doing these webinars for 2 years. It took me, but I knew that I was going to do this years ago. And that was when I saw it. The first time I paid, the first time I put money up, it was like, wow, there is so many levels to this that I didn't even know. How can I do the same? And then from there, I had to navigate. I did an Instagram post the other day, or the other week even. And it says that I either lose or... The Instagram quote is, I either win or I learn. I never lose. And that's the truth. Like, that's my honest truth. That's my honest truth. I'm not here to be perfect. I know I'm so far away from being perfect. I'm so far away from being perfect. But if you reach your new heights, right? If you want to reach new heights, you need to expose yourself to new heights. Joining masterminds, start training with new people, going to new dance classes. I think that beginners should go to beginners classes when it comes to dancing. You know what I mean? I really think that you as a beginner should go to a beginner's class. But I still remember, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't dance with the advanced people or the intermediate people. I still remember the first time I danced with Judith. I still remember the first time I danced with Raquel. Because the first time I danced with Raquel was the first time I'm like, wait, what? This is bachata? Like, wait, hold up. I'm not this good. I'm not this good. Holy shit, this is what it is to dance high-level dancing? Couple dancing? I had no idea. But I exposed myself to new heights, so I got the rub, and I got the feeling of like, wow, this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? And I know that every lady in here who's been dancing with Corke, Pablo, Kike, whoever, Shoes, you know what I mean? Shoes from the Rooster, Kiko from Kiko Christina. When you dance with, when you expose yourself to that high level, you get the rub. It's like, we talked about it last week or the week before, I don't remember which week, but it was like, you get the rub, it's like they are rubbing something on you, so you start to understand, it's like, whoa, there's new heights here. Expose yourself to new heights if you want to reach new heights. Because you need to put into your mind you need to consider that, like, the importance of observing. Because when you expose yourself to new heights, you're observing to new level, right? Because your action depends on it. You need to consider the importance of observing because your actions depends on it. Because before you act, you must desire, right? There must be some type of desire for you to act. But before you desire, you must be aware of the things that you desire, right? And to be aware, you must use observation. Did that make sense? I'm going to say that one more time because it's key what I just said. Like, consider the importance of observation because your action depends on it. Before you act, you must desire. Before you desire, you must be aware of the things that you desire. And to be aware, you must observe. And to observe, you need to be exposed to it. Anything, any level, whatever it is out of life. Then it's also important for you to understand what fuels you. It's so important. So I believe what we're talking about is like everything starts in the mind, and I'd say like this is how you get mentally stronger. Like this is how you get mentally stronger. You need to also understand what fuels you. What is it that really fuels you? I'm not talking only about materialistic things here, even though that might be it for you. I'm not talking about money, even if it's really nice to have a lot of money. I'm not talking about the latest watch, even if it's really nice to have a Rolex watch, I'm assuming. I don't know, because I don't have one. I'm not talking about buying the latest shoes from Atakia, even though I'll probably buy them because they will look sick, you know what I mean? But that's not what fuels me. What fuels me, Sebastian, is progression. And it took me a long time for me to understand this, like, well, what really fuels me here? I strive of progression. I strive of progression. I don't care if it's 150 people watching my webinar today. As long as there is 151 people watching my webinar next week. Or if it's one person watching my webinar. The only thing I care about is that next week it's 2 people watching it. I strive of progression. So because I know that, because I know what's happening, Marleta, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
Nice. So because I know what fuels me, I know how I can use it. I know how I can backtrack it, like I can reverse engineer it. So if progression fuels me, what does that mean? That means even if I like it or not, I need to know my numbers. I need to pay attention to my numbers. Luckily, I have David. So we're the perfect combo. But if it wasn't David, it would be somebody else. Like, I need to know my numbers. How many people came to my webinar last week? How many students do we have right now? Or did we have last week? How many people are in Dancers Bootcamp right now? How many lives are we impacting at this very moment? How many active people? How many people did their workouts last week? Because if we just have a bunch of subscribers in Dancers Bootcamp that don't do anything, then that's not my movie ending. Then I'm not fulfilling my movie ending. Then I'm not impacting lives. Then I'm just taking I'm taking a cash from them. That's not my movie ending. Like, that's honestly, it's not my movie ending. So I need to expose myself to that. Like I need to observe again. I need to observe like what is it that fuels me? And how can I frequently expose myself to it? Thumbs up if I'm making sense. Thumbs up if I'm making sense. These things may be a little like up in the air, right? But if your truest passion in life is dance, got it, roger that. But what is it? What is it really, on a deep level? What is it that fuels you? The touch of dancing with people? Being on stage? So if being on stage is what truly fuels you, why is that? Why do you like to be on stage? Because I like to be the center of attention? Or because I love the feeling of being in the zone? And being on stage expose myself to being in the zone. I don't like necessarily to be on stage if I can't do what I want to do. I like to be on stage when I can do what I want to do. I don't think it's very fun. Like I've done a lot of big shows, choreographies, dancing behind artists. It's fun, but I think it's even more fun to be on stage if I can express myself. If I can choose the song, if I can do what I want to do in the moment, if I can be myself, because that's how I hit flow. Like I get in such a zone, I get in so much more zone flow state. So you need to know that. You need to know what fuels you, and you need to use that as a weapon. Make sense, no? Yeah? Perfect. I want everybody to write down, the people watching there and the people watching here. What fuels you? Just off the top of your head. What is it that fuels you? For me, it's progression. In dance, in training, in business. That's what gets me going. For you, it can be fill in the blanks. And if you don't know, you don't know. Then write out that you don't know. Progress. It's the first comment that pops up on my screen. Pure stubbornness. Awesome. What else we got? What is it that fuels you? Reach, create, and remain in flow state. Freedom, pushing myself and others towards excellence. Stubborn, gaining new skills and seeing myself that I actually did something that I felt was impossible in the past. I believe progression, but I don't understand why I stop focusing even when I can see progress. Developing new skills and finding new ways to think about things. Let's talk about this for a second here. Let's see, one more row here. For me, it's progression too. At that moment when you get promoted at work, after knowing that you've been fighting hard for that. Or when you manage a new skill that you thought that you didn't know you could do. Exactly. Here's a great one though. Here's a great one, and I believe everybody who's watching should really pay attention to this one. It's like, I believe, here's the one answer. I believe progress, but I don't understand why I stop focusing even when I can see progress. Here's the thing. Because, and it's like a dichotomy. It's like a fine line between progress and like this is what you need to do when you expose yourself to new heights. And here's the danger with it. Because once you raise your standards, it becomes normal. It becomes normal. So now you need to look up again. Now I was standing down here before, and I was looking up. Okay, perfect. Now I'm up here. Cool. Let's see here. Let's hang around at this level for a little while. Huh. Let's see what they're doing up there. And then you raise yourself a little higher. And then once you're up here, you need to start doing the same. And that's what done next is all about. That's what we keep talking about. We keep talking about the done next mentality, but we forget it. We tend to forget it, right? That we tend to forget it. I want a six-pack before this date. Boom, I got the six-pack. Now what? I don't know. No, now my goal is to keep the six-pack, but to be able to be mobile like that person. Perfect. Zwah. Now I got the six-pack, I'm mobile. Now I want my mind to be sharp as a fucking razor. Perfect. Zoom. Here we go. So you're constantly exposing yourself to new heights. Because there is no box. There is no box. I don't live in a box. There is no ceiling or no floor or walls or some shit that's holding you in. Because that's what Done Next is about. Got it. I just turned 56 and I'm in better shape now than I've been since I was 30. Got it. Fuck yeah. Let's see what more I can do. If you know what fuels you, if you know what truly fuels you, if you know, if you're constantly exposing yourself to new levels and you know what fuels you, and you know who you are competing against, it's going to be so easy for you to know which one of the two voices to listen at. It's going to be so easy for you to know which one of the two voices to listen at. Because the clearer your movie ending is, the clearer your vision, the easier your decision. There were so many moments in Sweden. Yo, Sebastian, do you want to, like, we haven't met in years. Do you want to go and, let's go out. Yo, Sebastian, I know you've been in Spanish quarantine for 50 days. Let's go out dancing. Yo, Sebastian, there is a pandemic going on right now. But let's go out and social dance together. No. No, champ. Don't count me in. Don't count me in. Thank you for the invite. I appreciate you. But I'm out. Don't count me in. Don't count me in on it. And it's not that I'm better than anyone. It's just that my vision is so clear. My vision is so clear, so my decisions becomes easy. My decisions are so easy. So it fuels me. And I know what it is. And I know the two voices. I hear both of them. Like, do you guys understand what I mean when I say the two voices? Yeah? It's the devil and the angel. It's your wolf and the sheep. It's the champ and the B word. And if you don't know which voice I'm talking about, commit to something. Commit to something that is tough and do it through a prolonged period of time. And if you don't have an example, I dare you to commit to do just cold showers. Just don't shower warm. Just do cold showers. Just do 30 seconds of cold showers every day for 30 days. Just do it. If you don't know which voice I'm talking about, if you do cold showers every day for 30 days, just 30 seconds, the rest 5 minutes, minute and a half, whatever, how long your shower is, you're gonna hear the two voices. You're gonna hear one voice saying, You're gonna hear one voice whispering, or not even whispering, screaming to you. It's gonna say, don't do it! Fucking stupid! Fuck Sebastian! He don't tell you what to do! You're gonna have that voice. And then you're gonna have the other voice. I don't know the conversation that goes on in your head, but my other voice is saying, stop being a bitch! Do it! Get your ass in the shower, it's just cold. You're half Viking, go for it! So you hear two voices. Now, those two are, like it's a ridiculous example. But it's the same fucking voice. Those two voices are there. Those same voices are there when you're saying, I'm just gonna take a week of rest. How on earth can, like, you're gonna take a week of rest? From what? From what? You trained 2 months. You trained 2 months. Like, you trained 3 months. Like, you're gonna take a week off. What are you talking about? Yeah, but I need, Sebastian, I need to listen to my body, Sebastian. I need to listen to my body. No? No, you don't. You listen to your body if you're sick. You listening to your body got you to where you didn't want to be before. You need to listen to the wolf in your mind. You don't need to listen to your body because your body is directly connected to the bitch voice. You need to listen to the wolf inside of you sometimes, more than often. And if you are home feeling that, you know what, he don't know what I'm going through, it's like, nah, it's very true, but 99% of 99 is 99% chance that you should just like, 99% that you laying on the sofa eating Cheetos or whatever they eat in your country is not going to get you to your movie ending. I promise you that you drinking water, you being connected to your wolf, connecting to your wolf and just meditating, relaxing, stretching, I promise you that that's going to get you to your movie ending a hell of a lot faster. And that's mental discipline. That's mental discipline right there, I swear on my life. I know I said some wild shit. I apologize. I missed last week. Last week was the first time in I don't know how many months I missed a webinar. So I didn't ventilate, you know what I mean? I didn't ventilate in 14 days. So I had this in my mind and it was like it was like somebody was like choking me from the inside. So I had to like, let it out today. Here we go. Let me read what you guys said. Absolutely, we compete against ourselves. I compete against my old self. It's the end. That was your inner seas. That wasn't seas, you know what I mean? Like that was the tsunami. It was my inner tsunami. Your body is connected to your bitch voice. The excuse our mind want to shift us from our movie ending. Yes. This is what it's all about. I tell you. You get what you got to have. You get what you got to have. Don't ever believe you deserve something. I know Sebastian, he don't deserve shit. But he gets what he got to have. He takes what he got to have. He don't deserve nothing, that guy. I've been training so hard, I deserve a week off. Yeah, whatever, bro. And if that's you, you know what I mean? If that's your movie ending, that's your movie ending. But it's not my movie ending. That's the type of intensity I operate under. You don't go to work only when you're happy. You don't go to work only when you're motivated. You go to work. Why? Regardless. It doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, it's like, who gives a shit? My friend was here, like, and it's like, my friend asked me a great question. And what was even better than her question was my answer to that question. And she works hard, you know what I mean? Like, she's a hard worker, this woman. She's a good friend of mine, and she puts in hard work. And she's like, yo. So I was really tired. She's like, how, and I knew I had a few hours left to work. And she's like, how motivated are you on doing this right now? And I told her, I'm like, zero. Zero, I don't even want to do it. But it doesn't matter. What I want to do today, I don't give a shit about it. It doesn't matter. How I feel today doesn't matter. I care about how my future self will feel. I'm gonna do it yes or yes. It doesn't matter how I feel about it. Yes, but how can you say that? Like, the journey is the goal. The journey is the goal. Yes, yes, the journey is the goal. But the journey is about winning. The journey is about winning over your old self, winning the small battles. That's what the journey is about. It's fun. Like, for me, for Sebastian, because that's progression. Yes? Christoph, it's your first webinar here. How? You alright? You're good, brother.
Well, actually, I didn't know it was part of the package to have this type of conversation, but it does make sense for me. And basically, my will is not compared to you to reach progression each and every day, but once again to stick and create the flow state. So if I transpose your ideas to my own set, I think we are pretty in line.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing, though. Like, okay, so your thing is to reach flow state, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing a new experiment. It's a big experiment I focus on quadrant 4. I want to be more more focused, better to concentrate, basically reaching flow state. So what I'm doing is that I'm using a Pomodoro watch, which is I work 25 minutes and then I rest for 5 minutes. But with that being said, I'm adding 2 minutes extra every day. 5 days a week, I'm adding 2 minutes extra. So yesterday I did 25 minutes intervals. Today I do 27. Tomorrow I'm gonna do 29. 5 minute break. 29 minute work, 5 minute break. 31 minute work, 5 minute break. Because that's how I operate and that's what fuels me, right? So it's the same thing, it's just I'm saying it in a different way, basically. You know what I mean? But awesome. Familia, any questions? I know this was a little up in the air maybe, but it's a valuable subject. It's a valuable subject to retouch. Know what fuels you, because this is going to be on and off the dance floor. Expose yourself to new heights. Know which voice that you're listening to. Know which voice that you're listening to. It all starts in your mind. It all starts in your mind. You have allies in here. Reach out to them. You have real allies in this group. Reach out to them. You have people that are... Some people are... just like Christoph said. It's like, his goal is flow state. Perfect. If I'm messy, if I'm not, and if he decides to help you, you know what I mean? Reach out. Yo, I'm interested in learning more about flow state. Do you have any documentaries? I actually have, I was in a mentor group about elite mental training by a man called Tim Grover. That's where I met Erlinda. And in that group, I met a guy called Kyle. I think his name is like Raptor Fitness or something like that on Instagram. And he started talking about flow state. I'm like, yo, like I would love to know more about flow state and performance because I'm a dancer and there's nothing I love more than being on stage and just experiencing flow in like that. And he's like, yeah, don't worry. I did a meta-analyze on flow state for sport performance. So I have 120 studies here. Take 30 of them. Enjoy the reading. And that's for asking. You have the allies in this group. Get to know them. Familia, you know the vibes. You know what we're going to do. Any questions? Did I ask that? No, we did not. Here we go. I'm going to leave everybody on Facebook, on Instagram first. Bam. Ciao pescao, everybody on Instagram. Boom, you guys are out. Download, share IGTV, sure thing, why not? Yeah, I can do that later. We have a tradition here, obviously. Thank you for coming, first of all. I really enjoy being back. I'm in Amsterdam today. I'm going to be in Amsterdam next week also. After that, I'm going to Malta. The week after that, I have no idea where I am. But what I do know is that I'm going to be here on Wednesday speaking to you guys. That's my anchor. If I don't do that, I obviously come back a little bit more charged. All right, here we go. I'm going to say bye dancers. You're going to say for dancers. And I'm going to unmute all of you. And I see you next week. You know the vibes. You unmuted? You unmuted yourself? Double check you unmuted yourself, Familia. Here we go. Alright, here we go. I messed it up, I'm sorry. Let me give it another try. Alright, there we go. Alright, Familia. Thank you so much for coming. It means a lot to have you guys here every Wednesday. My life becomes better because of you guys, and I truly mean it. Remember, as always, by dancers.
Or dancers.
Yo, let's go. I talk to you guys very soon, all right?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks to you guys. Ciao.